right? And so I oftentimes start off with this construct that I describe as white superiority ideology. And so when we think about race, we all know that race is a construct that's not real, but it has really real consequences.
Explain that. Because people hear that, and I just recently learned that maybe 10, 15, 12 years ago.
Yeah, most people have.
That race is a construct. Let's start there and then we keep going.
Sounds good. And so when we think about race based on skin color, we understand that culture and ethnicity is a thing. Like if you're German, if you're Sudanese, all those things are a thing. But when we talk about race, it's about skin color. What we know is that the origins of all people come from the continent of Africa. And when we look at the kind of ultraviolet rays that go across the globe, when individuals, we have two out of Africa movements, when the anatomically modern humans kind of moved across the globe. And we understand that due to sunlight, melanin produces vitamin D. And if in fact you're in a region where the ultraviolet rays are different than those near the equator, you need less melanin, and as a result, skin color changes. And so when we look at individuals with different skin color, it's literally a manifestation of geography, period. Which makes it a false construct. Now, when we talk about race, particularly in America, really across the globe, it's important to understand that people who identify as white were not always white throughout history. So when we think about Irish immigrants, Polish immigrants, when they arrived on this land, they weren't white people. In fact, the descendants of the colonists actually rejected them. And they told the Irish immigrants, the German immigrants, to go and be with the recently freed enslaved people, or with the Native Americans or the indigenous people. And then the descendants of the colonists saw those groups building alignments, creating unions together. And they said, whoa, we can't do that. And so when we talk about race, whiteness has been malleable for centuries, meaning that they've absorbed different groups in order to maintain a population size. When we talk about race, we understand that for the very first time in American history, the 2020 census demonstrated that the white race for the first time declined. And that's what threw white people into a frenzy.
Made them mad. That's what made them mad.
Literally. And so you have this concept that they refer to as the replacement theory. And that's stating that individuals who practice, if you will, white superiority ideology are fearful about immigration, about mixing races, because the fear is that the white race is going to be eliminated as a result of immigration and mixed marriages. That's why in America it was illegal for anybody to marry white people except white people, for the sole purpose of maintaining that. So when we talk about race, that's why it's not real, although it has very real consequences.